Have you ever felt like nobody was there?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you're here.
Have you ever felt forgotten?
Hey, when you come in, you can actually grab a seat. We're doing something a little bit different this morning. Grady, good morning.
Have you ever felt like
hey, you can grab a seat.
Disappear?
Come on in, grab a seat.
Like you could fall and no one would hear.
How are we doing this morning? Good? You ready for the day? Day 3? Good morning, how are you guys?
Well,
Good.
let that lonely feeling wash away.
Good morning, what's up?
Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause when you don't feel strong enough to stand, you can reach out.
Hey, yes, again. Danny, how you feeling after
And
that workout?
someone will come running, and I know they'll take you home.
Good morning.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, and when you're
Hey,
broken.
who had a ride this morning? Who had a ride this morning? What'd you guys have?
So let the sun come
at 7
streaming
a.m.
in, 'cause you'll reach up and
that
you'll
will
rise
wake you up.
again.
I love
Lift your head
That's a
and look
good way to start the day. No cup of coffee needed when you start with tubing. It'll wake you up. What else? Was there other groups that had? What'd you guys have?
You'll be fine.
Did you guys jump in?
You will be fine. You will be fine. You will be found.
Even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you.
Hey, keep on coming in. You can grab a seat. There's some spots over there if you're looking for a seat.
So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be fine. You will be fine.
Welcome.
Out of the shadows, the morning is breaking and all is new.
Hey, how was the pontoon boat?
It's filling up the empty, and suddenly I see that all is new. All is new. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone. You are not alone.
Welcome.
Crashing through when you need someone.
Glad you guys made it here this morning.
Broken on the
There's some spots over there.
You will be fine.
You right there.
You'll reach up and you'll rise again. If you only look around, you will be fine. You will be fine.
Okay, one sec. Actually, I'll do it real quick. Hey, we are so glad you're here. Good morning. Way to make it here this morning. Hey, how we feeling? Morning of day 3. We feeling good? We feeling good? Awesome. Well, hey, we're going to do something a little bit different this morning. This is not club, and I'll explain more in a bit. But to start, we're going to watch some video clips, and so you can sit back and relax and watch the videos.
1980s, Garrett Garrison took the gaming world by storm, becoming the undisputed champion of the hit arcade game, Punk City Rampage. His mastery of this two-player co-op shocked the world. His effective use of the garbage toss move earned him the nickname, the Garbage Man. He became the envy of the gaming world after landing a lucrative six-figure deal with Sizzler. One thing's for sure. This kid had it all.
Garrett the Garbage Man Garrettson.
No autographs.
Have a nice day.
$20 he calls that 9.
Hey, y'all, let's get this dub, baby. Let's get this dub. Gun right, trips Niner, on one.
Man, that safety's been sitting on that all night, bro.
Coach called it, Spencer.
The coach is wrong. All right, look, that boy's about to blitz. Look to me, all right? If I get the signal, just give me the ball, fast.
You don't score, we dead.
Man, I'll see you boys in the end zone.
With the ball on the 45 and out of field goal range, the Chargers have to score on this drive.
Hey, yo, 56 is Mike. 56 is Mike. Watch them out the edge. Cover two. They in cover two. Kill. Check Razor. Kill it. Check Razor.
It looks like they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
What? What are you staring at? Do I have something in my teeth?
No, it's just... You're green.
I am. Fine. Let's get this over with. No, I am not seasick. No, I did not eat grass as a child. And yes, I've always been green.
Well, I, for one, am so sorry that you have been forced to live with this.
Is that so?
Yes. And it is my intention to major in sorcery. So if at some point you wanted to address the problem, perhaps I could help.
She's so good. She's so good.
We love you.
All right.
Offering to help someone that you don't know with skills that you don't have. I'm sure everyone is duly impressed.
I could care less what others think.
Couldn't.
What?
You couldn't care less what other people think. Though I doubt that.
Elphaba Throp.
This is my younger sister, Nessa Rose. As you can see, she's a perfectly acceptable color.
Stop making a spectacle of yourself.
Hi.
We've been watching you all day. You're a mess. So, we volunteer to amplify your lunch experience.
Yeah, what Damien is saying is, we will help you, Caddy.
Thanks so much. It's Katie.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Caddy. Get out of the toilet.
Okay. You just need to find your clique and commit to it. You have your jocks, your corny band freaks, your classic burnouts. Do any of these feel like your people?
I don't think so.
You know what might be cute for her?
What, grade grubbers?
No, I was gonna say theater mess.
And who's at that table?
Oh, no. We call them the plastics because they're shiny, fake, and hard.
Yeah, that's Gretchen Wieners. She knows everything about everybody.
That's why her hair's so big. It's full of secrets.
And that's Karen Shetty. She's the dumbest person you'll ever meet.
I once saw her put a D in the word orange.
Could I just sit with you guys?
I actually don't know. We've never been asked that question before. Could she?
We are very exclusive, but I think we can make an exception.
I am the daughter of the village chief. We are descended from voyagers who found their way across the world. And they call me. I've delivered us to where we are. I have journeyed farther. I am everything I've learned and more. Still it calls me. And the call isn't out there at all. It's inside me. It's like the tide, always falling and rising. I will carry you here in my heart. You remind me that come what may, I know the way. I am Moana.
Welcome to what we call real life. Hey, if you remember night one, I said at Young Life Camp, we talk about things that matter. And so we get to continue that through this experience we call real life. Last night, I pulled out a name tag and we talked about different labels that we've given ourselves or that other people have given us. And I hope that you continued that conversation in cabin time. And we want to keep that conversation going here this morning. So let's get that name tag out here. Yeah, give it up for the name tag. I'm joking. But give it up for my friend Tasha. She's going to be co-hosting this with us and giving a little more explanation.
Hi, I'm Tasha Taylor. I'm a head leader, so you'll see me around camp this week if you haven't already before. But I get to join you guys for real life, and I love doing it because here we get to talk about our lives and our stories and go a little deeper to hear some other ways of thinking about those things. And we're going to do that through a couple of things. So one is the song when you guys came in, that's part of it. The videos are a piece of this, so you might be able to bring those back into conversation because it's all part of the themes that we'll talk about. We're going to have photos on the screen. After this, you're going to have what we call lawn time. So you'll go out with your cabin with your group after this and process together with some interactive materials. And really, it all kind of comes together with some of our friends that are going to join us on stage and share their own stories with you, because sometimes it's helpful to hear how other people think about it in order for us to come up with our own words, to think about our own lives. So that's our hope with this time. Would you guys join me then in welcoming our first friend to the stage, Jess? All right, Jess, would you be able to share who you are, where you're from, and what your family was like growing up?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Jess. I'm from Lino Lakes, Minnesota, which is about 20 minutes north of Minneapolis. Growing up, it was me, my younger brother Nick, and my mom and dad. Here's a picture of my brother and I when we were little. I have a lot of great memories from my childhood. We grew up in a neighborhood full of kids, so my brother and I spent as much time as we could playing with our friends down the street. Nick and I were pretty close when we were little, and as we grew up, we started to become a little more different from each other. I continued to get more social and enjoyed playing soccer, while my brother realized he liked playing video games more than sports and also became a little more introverted. Even with our different personalities, generally we liked being around each other and hanging out together. We had our fair share of sibling fights, but for the most part, we were a pretty happy family. Our life mostly revolved around my brother and I's activities. My parents both worked full-time, but they always made it a priority to come and support us at our events. We went to church sometimes. We also loved spending time with our family friends. Life took a bit of a turn for our family in middle school when my parents decided to get divorced. To me, it kind of came out of nowhere. I had never really heard my parents fight before, so I didn't know that anything was wrong. My parents separated for a short period and then finalized their divorce the summer before I went into 8th grade. This was a really challenging time for both my brother and I as our lives got flipped upside down.
Thanks. Can we clap for Jess? Thanks for sharing. All right, next we're gonna bring out our friend Paul. Let's welcome Paul up. All right, Paul. Paul, could you share who you are, where you're from, and what was your family like growing up?
Yeah, my name is Paul. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And, yep. My immediate family, there's me, my older brother Dave, my mom who stayed home and took care of us, and my dad who was a school teacher. And we were a family who went to church. I thought we were, pretty average. Even though my parents, were nice to me, I still didn't get the love and attention I needed from them. Shortly after this picture was taken, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. And even though she went through radiation and chemotherapy treatments, she died of cancer.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Paul. Yes, thank you.
Next, I want to invite my friend Elena to the stage. Elena, will you tell us about yourself, where you're from, what your family was like growing up?
I'm Elena. I am from Minnetonka, Minnesota, which is a suburb of Minneapolis. I'm the oldest of 3. So you can see my sister is 2 years younger than me, and my brother is 8 years younger than me. We were a close family growing up. We did a lot with our extended family. My cousins lived a mile away, and we went to the same high school, so they were kind of like extra sisters to me. We went to church multiple times a week growing up. We talked about God at home. My grandpa was actually a pastor, so that was just a big part of our family growing up. My sister and I had a great relationship growing up, but once we got to high school, we did not get along very well. She would steal my clothes, and I would not like that, and so we'd get in fights. And there was also a lot of comparison. She was a lot more social than me. She was really well known in school, and that just kind of felt like the opposite of me, so I compared myself to her. The last part is my parents and my little brother moved to Georgia when I went to college, and they still live there now.
Last but not least, let's welcome up Nick. Yeah, Nick. Nick, tell us about yourself, where you're from, what your family was like growing up.
I know that hair is crazy. I get it. Hey guys, my name is Nick. I grew up in a southern suburb of Minneapolis called Burnsville. And so as you guys can see, there are two pictures up here. It's because my parents got divorced in 4th grade. So this is my mom, myself, and my sister. And when I was in kindergarten, I actually met my best friend. His name is Alec. And so when my parents got divorced in 4th grade, a few years after that, my dad and his mom started dating. And about a year or two after that, we moved in together. So this is my blended family. So this is me and my sister. Here are my 4 step-siblings. Alec is the one right to my left. And as you guys can see, my step-siblings are half black. And with that, with cultures really just kind of coming together, different parenting styles, different traditions, some of it is just really awesome and really great, and some of it is just really hard. And so that was just kind of me growing up.
All right, so like we said yesterday, and in your cabin times, you started talking about these labels, hopefully, that you've given yourself, other people have given you, and it can be really hard to know maybe what some of those words are when we haven't really spent a whole lot of time thinking about it. And so we'd love to now hear from our friends what some of those were from them so that it can help us all think about it. Jess, would you be willing to share what labels your friends or family would have given you growing up, and then what labels would you have given yourself?
My friends and family would have labeled me as goofy, smart, and responsible. Whether I was with my family, my friends, or my classmates in school, I loved getting people to laugh. I did well in school, which was something that my parents were proud of me for. And generally, I was a pretty responsible kid. I was kind of a worrywart, and so I was always the one keeping my friends in check, making sure that we were never getting into too much trouble. I would have labeled myself as never quite enough. I was smart, but I wasn't as smart as the other kids in class. I was athletic, but I never made the best team. I was funny, but I wondered if my friends ever found it kind of annoying. As I continued to get older, this label kept feeling more true for myself. As a younger kid, I was pretty shamelessly myself, but as I became older, I became more aware of people's opinions and started to worry more what they thought of me. Even though my friends and family might have still seen me as goofy, smart, and responsible, it became harder for me to believe that's who I was. The only label that felt true for me was not good enough.
Thanks. And Paul, would you be able to share the same thing? What labels would family or friends have given you growing up? And then what labels would you have given yourself?
I was careful not to break the rules. You know, I was known as a good kid, so I think my parents would have labeled me as well-behaved. At school, I used humor to get attention and make friends. So my friends probably would have labeled me as, you know, funny or entertaining. After my mom died, I remember my dad would spend a lot more time at his job, and he would come home late from work, and he and I might like spend just a short amount of time talking in the kitchen as he was making, you know, himself a little dinner and a drink. But then he would just sit in the family room in front of the TV and just drink until he passed out. This is almost like every night. Soon after that, my brother moved out of the house, and I mean, I did not feel loved. Kind of at best, I felt like tolerated, which is really far from loved. I think I would have labeled myself as abandoned.
Great. Elena, could you share the labels that others gave you and then the ones you gave yourself?
Yeah. I would say my friends and family would have labeled me as easygoing, calm, kind of like Paul, a good kid. I didn't really get in trouble. I listened to my parents, which was kind of the opposite of my sister, who was always yelling at my parents. I would also say that my coaches and teachers would label me as dedicated, motivated, hardworking. I was a gymnast growing up, and so I spent a lot of time in the gym. I would go to practice early and stay late and go to extra practices, and I also tried really hard in school. They would also probably label me as quiet and shy and more reserved. The labels that I would use for myself, the first one, similar to Jess, is not enough. I remember looking around at the people in my classes and on my team and just thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough at gymnastics. I'm not good enough at school. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not funny enough. I kind of just felt average. Another word that I would use is alone. I felt like everyone else had their friend groups and their people, but I just felt alone. I think this is why my gymnastics team played a big role. I had a consistent place to go every week or every day, and people that would be there, a role to play, and just friends that were there every day. The last word that I would use is anxious. And I wouldn't use this word at the time. I didn't have the word at the time, but looking back, I just felt anxious a lot of the time. I remember feeling like this sick feeling the day I had a gymnastics meet, or when I had to present in class, or before I had a sleepover or going to camp. I just remember this sense of dread and this like tightness in my chest. Like I really, really don't want to have to do this.
Thanks. And lastly, Nick, would you be able to share the labels others gave you and labels you would have given yourself?
Yeah, I think growing up, I really had the labels of being hyper and really loud. And so during recess or gym class, that was really great. But everywhere else, it was just honestly annoying. And so I got that a lot as well. That really came about, or that was who I was, because I have ADHD, and so I really hyperfixate on things, or I get obsessed with stuff, and so I got really excited about things, and so I had to share a lot of that stuff. As I got into middle school and high school, I remember a time during a Saturday night, Alec, my brother, he got a call from his girlfriend, and she was like, "Hey, I have a party tonight at my house. I want you to come." And she knew, like everybody else knew in school, that we were living together now, and I was not invited. And so my brother went to go ask our parents, and they said no, obviously. And so after they went to bed, he came to my room and asked if he could sneak out of my window. And so he snuck out of my window, and I was watching him walk down the street by himself. And in that moment, I just truly felt so forgettable.
If you remember last night, I shared labels that we maybe resonate with how we think about God. And so I said that sometimes we think of God as a judge or a coach or a ticket or a fraud. And I also mentioned king. And I hope that you guys added to that list. I hope there's some things that you were able to share with your friends and leaders about ways that you think about God. And we want to give you some more language for that. And so we're going to hear that from our friends here. So Jess, would you share, what labels would you have given God growing up?
I would have labeled God as distant. I believed that he existed, but I didn't think he cared too much about me. At most, I thought he was kind of a genie that was just there to give me what I wanted when I wanted it. I also would have labeled God as judgmental, kind of like a mean coach. I imagined God on the sidelines tallying up every bad thing that I did and that he was disappointed in me.
Paul, how would you have labeled God growing up?
Same question. Yeah, I mean, I believed in God, but I really didn't interact with Him other than like putting in time at church or saying grace before a meal or maybe whispering a little prayer like, please, God, don't let me be the last one picked, as people are choosing teams. That was about the extent of it. I think I would label God as, like distant, I don't know, uncaring, unrelatable, disconnected, maybe like an all-powerful scorekeeper, who's watching every good and bad thing I'm doing and keeping track. So, I better be careful. I better watch out. Kind of like Santa Claus. He knows if you've been bad or good. So be good, for goodness sake.
Thanks, Paul. Elena, how about you? What labels would you have given God growing up?
I would have used the word indifferent, that he didn't really care about me or notice me, that he had bigger things to deal with. I also had a lot of fear around God. I felt like I needed to do the right things or pray the right things before a test or a gymnastics meet or something bad would happen. I felt like he was going to punish me or try to teach me a lesson. Another word I'd use is critical, that I had to be a good person or he'd be disappointed in me, and I had to prove myself to him.
Yeah, the label that I would have put on God, actually, have you guys ever seen the show Family Guy? Okay. There is a character on that show that is God. And he shows up very briefly and very rarely, and when he shows up, he's either making a joke about somebody or the joke is being made on him. And so that's how I would really describe the labels that I would put on God growing up is he rarely showed up, and when he did, it was very brief, and I was either making a joke about him or he was playing a joke on me.
It takes a ton of courage to get up in front of this room and share your story. So could we thank them one more time for sharing part of their story? I hope you're taking advantage this week of the amazing opportunity you have to be courageous, honest, and authentic with your friends and with your leaders. We're going to continue processing with a thing that Tasha referenced called lawn time. And so your leaders will guide you out there and kind of facilitate a time. Leaders, there are blankets, there are benches, there are little spots. Don't go too far. Kind of stay around the anchor. And you'll continue this conversation. Hold on, stay with me. You'll grab some supplies from the stage before you leave. And then you will all come back in here for what's next. Just kind of listen for a cue to return back into the anchor. All right, thank you.
So 1 leader per cabin. Come and grab some materials from up here. Bunch more right here if you guys don't want to have to wait.
You will be fine.
You know what? There is. There's gonna be. There'll be something.
Later this week, you'll get a chance to be up here.
I'll let your
Hey, good morning.
know what that is. Okay?
How we doing?
You know, it's really, it's like we want to get there.
Yeah.
We're talking about later. We're talking about ideas that we've got. You know what I mean? Grow with us.
Oh, I got my tail. Oh, yeah, let's go. You're prepared. You're ready to go. You guys have a good conversation?
Yeah, Cole wanted to, did you get a chance to tell him?
Yeah, tell them.
Remember yesterday when I was shooing you out because of the rain?
Yeah.
You were gonna tell Brady that you maybe know somebody with the same name, right?
It's one of my boys. It's my friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. So I wanted
Yeah.
to tell you
That's
that.
cool. That's good. It's I don't know too many Bradys, but I'm always happy to meet another one.
Hey, last year at Cleveland League, I got to be upstage.
Oh, sweet.
Great. Guys, I think you're
Well, I better
ready to go.
Why don't we'll talk later.
We'll talk later. Have fun talking.
See y'all later.
See you later.
This is Nate. I'll make some chipmunks and then I'll get out of here. No, we'll take, I think it's probably be full back. Because I'm not really bringing any, I'm not really adding anything to the conversation. I'm just kind of welcoming back.
Yeah. Here, I'll open.
It's still markerless.
Do you guys need this microphone? Program team, do you need this guy?
Yes, actually. Can you just leave that back here? Thank you.
Hey, Riley. Yeah. Is the microphone on this side of the stage way quieter? They're at the same level right now. Okay. Hey, how's it going? That sounds a little bit louder now. Yeah. For some reason, it seemed super quiet when it was happening, but we could hear people.